these characters are saying things that, if an actor said them out of character would make them unhireable.
How is to work with a character that it isn't there?
So there is a little dull when they're setting up the shot, while they're getting the framing of everything right. But the second the camera starts to roll, that doll is gone. So it's just empty space completely. It was definitely difficult for the first couple weeks acting with something that wasn't there. But I should say it would have been completely impossible to do had Seth not been there on set, doing the voice, reading the lines, having a rapport. I think that's where all the chemistry comes from, is that, even though you're imagining something that isn't there, you are acting somewhat with a real person.
This is a show that has a lot of profanity, is it liberating to be able to do and say basically anything?
Yeah, it is.
We're about to get high for the first time.
Can we have drugs, please?
I think what makes the show work is that these characters are saying things that, if an actor said them out of character would make them unhireable. But the jokes are very funny, and I think that's part of why Seth, gets away with it and has gotten away with it for so long, is that if you take everything in its proper context with the show, then truly there's nothing offensive in it. It's making fun of how offensive these people can be.
Obviously, you saw the two first movies, but I don't know if you saw it first with in the theatrical release, and then you rewatched it for the role, or?
I actually was at the table read, sort of the run through for the first Ted movie when I was like 10 years old, because I was around the Family Guy studios, and they needed somebody to do like the creepy little kid at the table read. So I've known about Ted for 15, 16 years now, and I've been a fan since the beginning. I love both movies. I saw them in theaters. Definitely rewatched them both in advance of the audition and after I got cast. I watched them over again just to get that sort of sense of comedy and that comedic timing just into my bones.
When I was watching the two episodes, I was thinking you're in this place where this is like Alf meets Roger Rabbit meets National Lampoon meets I don't know, Porky's maybe. I don't know if you saw another kind of material for this.
Absolutely. I think Alf is a very apt description for sure. Porky's too. Yeah, and National Lampoon. Yeah, it's just this fusion of like classic heartwarming family sitcom and absolutely unhinged comedy that I think if the response here in the States is anything to go by, I think it landed very well.
One of the recurring gags of the film, and from what I see, it's also in this series, is the movie Flash Gordon. Do
Yes.
you have to? Did you see it? What do you think about that?
So when I got cast, I talked to Seth briefly about Flash Gordon. And I was like, hey, I've never seen this. I gotta get into it and like watch it and like learn to love it. And he was like, no, you don't. It's a horrible movie. It's a bad movie. That's the joke. It's a waste of your time to watch it. And so I was like, well, okay, I'll just not watch it. If this guy knows what he's talking about. If he says it's a waste of time, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, it's truly horrible. That's true. If you have to recommend this series to someone who has not seen Ted, how would you do it? How would you describe the series to this imagined person?
I would tell them that if they're fans of raunchy comedy and or Sesame Street, either way, if you're a fan of either one of them, I'd say you got something to tune in for. It's just a bear that got wished alive that says and does only horrible things.
All right, I'm just trying to help.